I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm not afraid of it because I've had plenty. And now it's just time for me to say I'm tough, because what does not kill you makes you stronger.
Sun don't stop for nobody, man. Sun don't fucking stop. Sun gonna be up in the morning regardless. That sun is gonna be up in the morning regardless of how I fucking feel and how depressed I am. The sun is gonna fucking shine in the morning, and at nighttime the moon gonna be there, and you gonna look up, these days gonna keep going by. So do you let the days go by and look up and you done wasted a year doing what?
If you're going to have an interesting life, you can't have all of the other interesting lives you would have had.
We are all going to die. And we should not simply be looking for comfort.
Most people who could ever exist will never even be born. So we're the lucky ones. We're the ones who get to die. Because you only get to die for having lived.
Maybe I'm a little stronger than I thought I was. Maybe I'm not giving myself enough credit. Maybe I can do more than I think I could. And what just happened right there is the birth of success.
The greatest gifts in life are not in the plans, they're in the detours. There is no way I could plan my way to being on the stage. I have failed a lot more and a lot longer than I have succeeded. I didn't originally get the role in Top Gun that I auditioned for, and it's worked out better than I could have ever even imagined. So if you want your life to be a great story, like a great movie, if you want it filled with adventure, comedy, romance, action, thrills, when you go out there and things inevitably don't go according to plan, just remember that's when your movie's plot is just getting interesting. That's when your protagonist is being tested. That's when the writers are working overtime to give the audience some nail-biting drama. Enjoy things not going according to plan. If you knew the ending, it wouldn't be worth the watch. No good story happens from things going right.
They're gonna tell you you can do it. They're gonna knock you down and doubt you. But guess what? The only person you need to achieve anything in this life is yourself. Just trust yourself. Work tirelessly, have faith, and everything is possible. Look at me. Look at me now.
Ordinary people, you don't do extraordinary things by thinking like everybody else. And society tells you to think like everybody else, be like everybody else, act like everybody else. And you know what my motto is? Fuck everybody else. I would have not had the opportunity to train the greatest athletes in the world if I thought and acted like everybody else.
Yo, we all are great. We all should think that we're great. There's no reason for you to not think that you're great. If you don't think you're great, ask yourself why. Why don't you think the highest of yourself? When you do, people have no choice but to follow suit. You have no choice but to follow suit.
4 words that'll change your life. I do it anyways. Tired? I do it anyways. No support? I do it anyways. Scared shitless? I do it anyways. Afraid of failure? I do it anyways. Fear of rejection? I do it anyways. You don't build an amazing life or business or relationship by waiting for the perfect moment. You do it by showing up every day, regardless of how you feel. You do it anyways.
They never saw the lonely nights, the aching knees, the silent battles, but I kept going. I kept shooting, and I kept believing.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way.
What am I doing with my life?
If all your books, videos, and tweets were erased from the internet forever, and all you had was the next 60 seconds to leave to the world, what's the most useful thought you could leave to the world?
Figure out what you want, ignore the opinions of others, and do so much volume that it would be unreasonable that you would be unsuccessful.
Can't be focused on the end result, man. Just stuck on the journey, bro. This is a pure journey. Pure journey.
Every day I wake up, I say to myself, you have two options right now. Keep dreaming with your dreams or wake up and make it reality. I choose the second option always.
People don't want to genuinely work. That's what's going to separate you from everybody else.
Yes.
You going to put the hours in to work. I was in college, laptop, everybody going to parties and shit. I'm in college with my bum ass external drive hanging out the laptop, editing the video. Bitches was walking past the comment room like, what you doing in here? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm editing. I'm over here editing. I record the video, edit the video, 5 minutes before class, upload that bitch. The class is all the way across the other campus. I upload, make sure I upload, and I'm sprinting across the campus to go to my class, go to the class, and that video probably flopped.
Where we were working on something, and we knew it was possible, and we did those things that were necessary to bring it into reality. We took the responsibility to make it happen. Other people couldn't see it. A lot of people didn't believe it. You were attacked. You were criticized. People were opposing you, but you kept on doing it. It was hard, it was rough, it was difficult, but to you, it was worth it. And eventually you got to a level can nothing stop me now.
You've got to kind of go out there and decide what you want. That's the first great adventure. And then getting it is the second great adventure.
Life is beautiful, man. You just gotta go out there and experience it. You know what I'm saying? The life you experiencing right now, you can change. Alright? Whatever you don't like about your life, you can change. Damn near anything. You don't like the way you look, get some money, go change it. You don't like how big, if you big, you don't like, well, go work out.
Obsession's gonna be talent every time. You got all the talent in the world, but are you obsessed? Is it all you ever think about? Let's face it, it's you against you out there. When you walk on that court, you have to think, I am the
best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from their club. There's no one that can match me.
If things are plateauing, I'm usually suffering because plateaus are painful because you don't know, like, why are we stagnating? What's going on? And if you're declining, it's really painful. And so it's just like life is painful. And so pain in of itself is not an indication that there's something wrong. Suffering is not an indication that there's something wrong. It's just feedback. It's a signal. And so that's been helpful for me.
Restart, reset, and refocus as many times as you need. You are your own greatest project. But just always remember, don't give up.
That leader that you look up to, that champion, it doesn't matter. Every single person that's ever been relevant in the history of Earth looked bad when they first started out. They were embarrassed. They felt stupid. The only difference is they cared more about what they were becoming than what they look like today. Okay? They kept going. They kept practicing. They persevered. They ground through the process. They didn't care how hard it was. They didn't care how stupid they looked. They failed over and over and over again. And every single time they failed, they learned. And while everyone else was laughing, they got better. And guess what? Now they're getting paid. Now they're getting respect. Now they're getting results. Now they've become that version of themselves that only they saw in their hearts while everybody else was laughing.
Don't worry about next week, next year. Just focus on every 24 hours that you get, And that's done a lot for me.
Doesn't matter how impossible it may seem. There's a way. It's possible. It doesn't matter if someone says no. No doesn't mean no way. There is a way. We're going to do it anyway. Rejection is key to success. Adversity is the greatest thing that can happen to us in life.
He isn't born, Alexander. He's made. by stealing, by suffering.
Every one of you behind your screens on this arena can feel this level of happiness just one time in your life. But guess what? You will never feel this level of happiness if you don't go for something in your own life. When they knock you down, when they try on you, when they talk about you, and they try to put their foot on your neck, if you stay down, you will never ever get that resolve. Fortify your mind and feel this level of happiness as you rise. One time in your life.
You can't have an easy life and a great character.
Imagine being that guy in that situation. You've been wounded or you've been in an accident and you're hurt bad, and you hear the medic or the corpsman or the doctor declare you're expectant.
What do you have to do to keep going? You got to keep challenge yourself for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing.
And you realize that it's over. It's all over. All the plans, all the tomorrows that you have, all the ideas that you have, they're gone. But the fact of the matter is, we have been declared expectant. So don't wait. Time is short. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't sit around and plan anymore. Go out and do the thing.
If you have those little small goals, those little small things that get you excited when you don't want to, it's going to make it even better and even easier at the end.
I don't give a how much money I get. I don't give a how big I end up being. I'm always going to have the same hunger and mentality as I did before everything blew up.
God puts your life in your imagination. The reason they can't see it is because he didn't put it in their imagination. Stop telling people your imagination and expect them to see it. They are not going to see something God has placed in your heart and mind. It's there for you.
No matter what your lot is in life, if you have a disease or you have cancer, you're crippled, whatever is the thing, at the end of the day, you're alive, not dead, nor not having ever been born. So, take every occasion you can to smell the flowers, to drink in the sunsets and the sunrise and the majestic sky above you that they cradle through the nighttime hours, and celebrate life because you won the lottery. And most people will never even know there was a lottery.
I will go out to build a battle, and I will move in everything I can do. And I will reach my field of battle at any means at my disposal. And when I get there, I will rise violently. I will rip the heart from my enemy and leave it bleeding on the ground. Because he cannot stop me. You're
gonna have days where you're gonna be upset at yourself, but you just have to keep going, bro. I mean, you can't lose if you don't stop. It's impossible. How can you fail if you don't stop? I'm just gonna keep going through that brick wall and keep pushing myself. Even if the wall isn't moving, I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah, you've got to work really hard and really long to get good at anything. To get competent at anything is hard. But what could you stand to do for that long?
The biggest purpose in life isn't all that shit. It's how you respect yourself. How you look at yourself. That's an everyday journey. So every day you should be getting after it. We look at determination, self-discipline. We look at hard work. All these terms, almost like we dread them. Almost like a punishment. Those are the biggest words of all time as far as respecting yourself. So don't look at them as dread and punishment. Look at those words as a lifestyle. Stay hard.
during the days where I didn't want to go, or I was tired, I was sore, this, that, or the other, I still went. Because if I'm going to go to practice and I'm going to get 10%, 20%, 30% out of that day, it's better than getting 0. So I was always taking steps forward. And that's why everything worked out.
I will define myself. I will write my own president. And no one will tell me what I can never be. I will never go out not knowing I've given everything I've got. That's what
How afraid are you of not making a change? Let's make a little vision of that. You're 35, you hate your job. What's the consequence? You're not motivated. You don't want to get out of bed in the morning. You're starting to get depressed. You're getting bitter. You're getting resentful. You're getting cynical. You're amotivated at work. You're not doing a very good job. And you're starting to shrink. Now play that out for 10 years. You don't change it. You don't fix it. And what happens? Well, it's not like it's going to get better of its own accord. What's going to happen to you? Well, for sure, at minimum, what's going to happen to you is you're going to be in the same situation, but 10 years older. And if you can't get out of that situation now, what the hell makes you think you're going to get out of it in 10 years?
If you do not burn out, if you do not take every set to failure and beyond and push yourself and burn out, you will not grow. You must go through the flames of burning out to find strength and growth physically. And after your workout, after every single set and every single rep, you give it all you had and you pushes you past failure 2 or 3 reps and you burn out, you burn out, you burn out. The end state, when the smoke clears and the dust settles, the visual representation of what you've seen is a stronger fundamental physical structure than when you started that workout that day.
Just keep moving. Don't start feeling sorry for yourself. Don't spend time blaming and talking about what happened to you. See, whatever you talk about, that's what you multiply and expand in your life experience. So don't talk about stuff unless you want it to keep on happening to you, all right?
Choose to live and to relish every second of this life and do everything we can with it. And that's what I would ask every single one of you to do. Go out into the world and build and grow and help and go out and live.
3 of my life learnings is dream big, align your passion and purpose in life with a goal. If you focus on the goal, you will overcome all obstacles. If you focus on obstacles, you will never reach your goal. My second learning: there is no substitute to hard work. Pursue excellence and success will chase you.
When you have a goal that's important enough to you, nothing will stand in your way. And that's what it was. You know, I wanted to accomplish those goals and I was going to make it happen. The greats do things when they don't always want to. And that's the separation.
I used to wonder why God gave me the life he gave me. Why I struggled so hard. I stayed homeless so long. I couldn't win. I just didn't understand it. Till finally, he revealed it to me. He said, I had you go through all this so when you got where I was taking you, you was going to be able to tell somebody else how to get it done. Yeah. See, everything you going through is God preparing you for what you asked for. You got to go through the test. Can't have no testimony. You ain't got no test. How you going to share it if you ain't been through it? Ain't finna be easy. This is not easy, man. This is hard. Being what you set out to be is hard. Accomplishing your dreams is hard. Making it to the top is hard. Taking care of your family, hard. Climbing the corporate ladder is hard.
Success is like being pregnant. Everyone says congratulations, but nobody knows how many times you got fucked.
The reason why most people can't win, the reason why most people are still broke,
still soft, still average, still wanting more for their lives and can't figure out why it's not happening. It's not because they don't have all the tools. We live in the greatest age of information that's ever existed. It's because they are too scared to look stupid. That is it.
Why did you choose this life?
What life?
Be a great warrior.
I chose nothing. I was born, and this is what I am.
You are more than worthy of it, because that's why you were created for it. And only you can make it happen. So continue to live strong, continue to believe, continue to have the faith, and understand that there are always possibilities. You just got to believe it and make the impossible possible.
Today will be that day. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now, right here, in your house and in your home. So what's your excuse? Is it too cold where you live? Is it too hot where you live? Does it rain too much? Now it's time for some real talk. Maybe you're the only black person applying for a job. Maybe you're the only female. Maybe you're the only gay person. Job, whatever the fuck it may be. Maybe that shit's in your fucking head. Maybe that's your excuse for not being better. Life's a real big picture. When I was young, all those things got in my head. Black, not smart enough, single mom, all that bullshit owns space in my head. If you're allowing people and things and situations to own space in your head, you're losing. Last thing, life's one big game. You play with yourself. If you lose, it's because you allow life to get in your head. Stay hard.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Everything for me is just 24 hours. So I've been, that's done a lot for me.
If you listen to what everybody else has been telling you all this time, over and over and over again, I've said this before, you are going to be just like everybody else. And you know what people do when they try to get closer to balance? What do? You add more stuff, you add more stuff, you add more stuff, you add more stuff. Getting closer to balance is not about adding more stuff. It's about letting stuff go.
You just can't expect people to see what God places in your imagination. If he'd have wanted them to see it, he'd have put it in their head. He didn't put it in their head, he put it in yours. Stop looking for people around you to support you. You will never get started. You don't need them. You don't need their belief. You need to believe in yourself.
And life will not go straight up, and it won't just go horizontal. It's not neutral. You're gonna have highs and lows, but you never want to let the lows get you off your pivot.
Every day is a new day. Every day is a great day. You have to say that. Even when you're going through the struggles, you have to say that. Every day is a good day.
You want to learn a new skill? You're going to suck. You want to start a new business? You're going to look stupid. You want to develop discipline? Guess what? You're going to fail a few times. That's part of the deal. That's the rules. And the people who win are the ones who accept that cost and keep moving anyway. They don't care if they got laughed at. You think that the greatest people that ever built anything didn't get laughed at? You think that the legends that you look up to in sports and business and life, you think they started out like that? You think they just like started up and they were like, oh shit, I'm great at this. That is the biggest lie that we are told about success.
You didn't want to wake up this morning? You get up anyway. I don't care what you did last night. Some people tell you shouldn't drink at all. You should be sober. If you took a drink last night, you still have to get up because it's discipline.